Hello everyone, I'm Abhinav Lakkapragada, and as my teammate has just explained about how our whole website works, now I'll be talking about the backend API documentation. So this is our GitHub, and you can find our API interface documentation here. So firstly, we'll talk about the user authentication endpoints, where here if we send a post request to the localhost 3000 slash API slash register, the user can register. So it allows the users to register a new account. So the user can either register as a user or an admin, or that would be basically at this point in the role place. And once it is successful, you'll get the response that the user is registered successfully. And once the user is registered, he can so we have checked that as well. We have checked the login functionality of our website. So we'll send a post request with this and log in with the username and the password. Here the role is not required, as the our logic can find out whether it's a user or an admin and send it to that page accordingly. And the sample request response that we received is that the login was successful and the user's unique JWT token. And next, these are the book management endpoints. So here again, we can send a GET request to the API and books, and you get a response of all the books available in the whole system. The permission is for everyone, whether it's an authenticated user, or the admin. And the next one again is similar. Now you can retrieve the book by its ID. So you can type books slash one and you will get the first book. And this feature of adding new books is limited to only the admin. So the permission is given only to the admin. So the admin can add a new book and it's a post request. In the headers, we have to give authorization and bearer and its token. So the token when the user or the token when the admin gets when it's logged in, and he has to fill in the information of the new book in the request body, which is this, and the new book is added. So the response is book added successfully. And similarly, if the admin wants to change the information of a book, he can use the put function, put API books ID, and he has to specify the ID, which ID he wants to update. And in the request body, he will mention the details of the book which is updated. So the new information of the book is mentioned in the request body, and you'll get the sample response that the book was updated successfully. And for the delete function, it's again a delete request, and you have to mention the specific ID as well. So with that, the admin can directly delete the book from the system. So the permission is only given to the admin here, and you'll get the response that the message, the book was deleted successfully. And now for the users, this is specifically for authenticated users. So the user has to be logged. He can now borrow a book. So he just has to uh, send a post request, and in the request body, it's the user ID and the book ID. And we got the sample response that the book was borrowed successfully. And if the same user wants to return a book, just the URL is changed to borrow slash return, and then the request body is the same, and we get the response that the book was returned successfully. Similarly, if a user wants to reserve a book for later uses, like he wants to collect the book from the library later on, so he can create a reservation for a book. So like once the book is available, the book will be reserved for that particular user. Again, it's permitted only to the authenticated user. And in the request body, it is user ID and the book ID again. And you get the response that the reservation created successfully. And similarly, if he wants to cancel, it's again the same post request and the same request body. you get the response that the reservation was cancelled successfully, and you can get the reservations of the current user. So if the users, you can send a get request and you can see all the books that he has reserved. And then the next feature that we developed is book review. So a user can review, can post reviews of the book that he has borrowed. He can only post the reviews for the book that he has only borrowed and not for a random book. So that's one good thing. So the headers are the same. So the permission is only for authenticated users. And here user ID, book ID. Here we have the rating and the comment as well. And the response is that the review was added successfully. And for the get response, get API reviews. With this response, you can get all the reviews for a specific book, and the query parameters are the book ID, review slash one, and then like this. So you'll get the specific review for that ID. So in this case, it's book ID 2. So we got the book ID 2 and the review and which user had provided this review to it. So that's it. These are the general API requirements here for authentication, and all the content types is application JSON. Yeah, thank you. This concludes our presentation for the final software engineering project. Thank you.